Well, going back in the history, 57, 58 years, I was just an engineering student at VJTI, and a lot of our activities were related strictly to book learning, There was not enough social activities where we know each other, At that time, because of the British system, it was more book oriented. There was not that much practical oriented activities at that time. I was living in Mahavijan Vidyalaya at Govala Tank Road, and we take a train from Grant Road to Matanga Station. Reflecting back, we were crazy to get into crowded train, hanging around, keeping our arms, and sometimes we were taking very, very dangerous, life-threatening ride in the electric train, Today I would not do that, That time, because I was a student, I did it, And today it looks so much crazy with such a traffic jam in the electrical train, Because there were limited resources at the college, I don't recall too many extracurricular activities or the committees, In the second year of engineering, we did go to visit one of the power plant, and also we went to Uttakaman. But most of the activities were strictly related to going to the classes, going to the learning, taking the exams, and that's the end of it, VJTI gave me the foundation of analytical thinking and to critically analyze any problems and how to solve that problem. Whether it is engineering related or socially related or medical related, but the foundation was laid at VJTI how to critically think and face the problems, As soon as I graduated from VJTI, which was around May, June, in September I went to United States of America. But during the last 6 months of VJTI, I was just dreaming that I will be going to United States of America. Coming from a lower middle class, my family could not afford to pay for my ticket to go to United States. But by God's grace, there was a very philanthropic gentleman named Shah, who took me as his mentee, and he took me to some of the wealthy people for around 5 to 6 months and make sure that I do get the scholarship to buy the ticket, go to the United States of America. So I'm very grateful to Shah to make my dream come true. I always tell my students now that you always dream big, It doesn't cost you to dream anything, And once you start dreaming, slowly the God helps you how to go on planning, how to put various elements together. It's a lot of hard work, but finally, with the God's grace and a lot of hard work, it does come true. I went to States in September 1959 to do my master's in electronic engineering. Took me about 9 months to do my master's. And then I started working for Alice Chalmers manufacturing company in the electrical power division. We were designing electrical controls for steel mills aluminum mills, and slowly I became electrical engineer. So about 5 years I worked at Elistamans manufacturing company. Then I came to India with again little idealism that I want to settle in India, which is my motherland. Hopefully I can give back what I learned here and whatever education I took at VJTI. So I tried for 3 years to settle down here, but God might have different plans for me. So a lot of plans didn't work out, so I went back to United States of America in 1969. Before going to United States, I did get married to my wife, Dr. Shah. She is from Grant Medical College. So she also accompanied me when I went to United States in 1969. She being a physician, pediatrician, and I was an engineer, Then I worked for Bailey Controls, which designed the electrical controls for nuclear power plants. So I designed a lot of 2-3 nuclear power plants in the United States of America. I joined Greater Cleveland Growth Association, which is a chamber of commerce in Cleveland, Ohio. There I was a manager responsible for minority economic development to help disadvantaged or less advantaged people like black minority or Hispanic minority or Mexican minority to get them into business. So along with doing that counseling, how to be an entrepreneur, I learned how to be an entrepreneur myself. So after 3 years doing the counseling and coaching to black and Hispanic minority, I got the bug in me that I want to be an entrepreneur. So in 1977, I started my own real estate company. So till I retired, I had my real estate company, I had my mortgage company. I put about 10 entrepreneurial ventures together. So then I retired because my son and daughter advised me that, Daddy, you're done enough. You put us through the college, we are on our own, you retire and do something else. Since 2001, earthquake in Gujarat, which took the lives of about 30,000 people, about 2 lakhs of people were completely homeless. We try to play a small role in upgrading their life. So since 2001, we bring the NRI physician doctors to India every year for last 17 years. Initially, we might have 8 or 10 doctors, but now we get about 25 to 30 doctors every year, 25 volunteers, between 45, 50 people every year, and we go to various parts of India. We had been to about 10 states. We had been to Kerala, we had been to Tamil Nadu, we had been to Karnataka, we had been to Rajasthan, we had been to Gujarat 3 or 4 times. We are going to go to Madhya Pradesh, we had been to Orissa, we had been to Uttarakhand, and we have been to West Bengal. So we take a journey around India, our wonderland, to give back what they have given us. During the medical camp, with the 45 people, we go to the villages where there are a lot of amenities will not be available. Many times the toilet may not be neat and clean, but we program our NRI physicians, whatever the condition may be, we are not here to complain. It's only for 2 weeks we have to tolerate this, and they are very amenable to do that, okay? Even when we go to villages, the road conditions There are a lot of potholes, chuckle holes. Sometimes we bump our head, we bump our back, but we tolerate all these things just to give whatever we can give back to the country. During the 2 weeks, we might examine 8 to 10,000 patients, give them all the primary care help, pediatrics, OBGYN, families, sometimes cardiology, sometimes there are cancer patients, and provide the free medicine to 8,000 to 10,000 people. We also arrange to take care of some of the critical surgery that has to be done by contracting to local hospitals and local surgeons. We also do the cataract surgery done. This year, our goal is to give some of the amputees the hand so they can be a functional hands. Okay, so we are going to do about 70 amputees with the artificial hands. It is going to be done by 3D printers, and hopefully their life would be much better. Couple of things I learned from Mother Teresa. In the initial life at Calcutta, somebody asked her, there are thousands of children on the street. How many children you are going to take care of? She says, sir, slow down. I got only one child in my hand. This is my priority. I do not worry about next week or next day what is going to happen. If you are focused on the present without worrying about the past or what's going to happen in the future, rest of the things you leave it up to God. He's a constant inspiration to me. He talks to me a lot of my quiet moments in meditation. And many times we face some insurmountable situation, but somehow the way the solution comes is really amazing. At one time in Bihar, when we are going in the big bus, the bus driver felt there is little bit of rain, so we will pass through this, there is no problem. So he was driving with 40 of us in the bus. It came, but there was a big ditch and the bus got stuck. And we were away from the clinic, maybe 10-15 minutes away. So now what we are going to do? We cannot push the bus out of the big mud and kitchen, all the dirt. So we all got out of the bus, carried all the medicine boxes and all the supply boxes on our shoulder, and we walked to the clinic. So sometimes God gives you that extra energy, extra things whenever you face with the problems.
Wonderful. So, sir, I think what you've done is an inspiration for VJTians and anybody associated with the college about to know an alumni has achieved so much and is actually doing so much. What is your message today to the younger alumni as to how they can also take this journey of achieving and doing something meaningful in life?
Sometimes the machine that God has given us, we do not realize how much capacity, horsepower we have. Not only the talents, but the capacity. We use less than 1% of our talents and ability during our lifetime, most of the time. Because we try to think in the black box. A lot of us want to have that comfort level, the warm blanket, and doesn't want to get out. My message to my students as well as anybody You always try to get out of the box a little bit. It will be really amazing how much you can accomplish. I personally am not a medical doctor, but every year we try to add something in the medical field because I read from the internet, I read what is happening. This year we added the 3D printer, made prosthetic hand. When I suggested to my physician friends 4 months back, they said, "You're crazy, We are going to be in the villages. Who's going to talk about the hands and other things, I said, okay, we will try it, At present, we have got 70 children lined up in Bhopal. Starting tomorrow, we are going to take their measurement and make them in Bangalore. Okay. Another innovation that we are adding this time, a lot of women in the rural area, they never examine their situation, personal situation, especially about whether there is a lumps in their breast. And our OB/GYN doctors always recommend that you must examine your breast every 6 months. This time we are going to have a machine that within 5 minutes we can find out whether there is a lump. If there is a lump, immediately there is a cancer doctor available who will take the biopsy and follow up the case. So hopefully we can save 20, 30, 40 women from preventing the early cancer. That would be a great blessing. Premier Institute in engineering, especially in the present situation in India, they can play a very major role. There are a lot of engineering initiatives that our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, is taking. Just think about the bullet train between here and Ahmedabad. That's a huge engineering undertaking. Next year, we are going to put down 80 satellites with 1 missile into orbit, and 40 of them from United States of America. All of these challenges that our country is taking, our VJTI engineer can play a major role. My granddaughter, who is 7th grade at one of the schools, and they are just in the high school. But the school provides them the opportunity to work with the engineer from NASA, so even the high school graduate can put the payload in the space with the help of NASA at the high school level. Our VJTI engineer can do 10 times much better job. I come here every year. I spend 6 weeks to 8 weeks. I request my alumni colleagues Satish Kazi and Chandrakant Shah, who is very close to me as a friend as well as alumni, to use our talents, energy, resources that we are bringing to help the VJTI or the students. Okay? We have very open agenda to help anybody. We are not asking for anything in the return. Okay? I invited a couple of students from VJTI to join us in our Bhopal camp, so they can interact with 45 NRI people for the future career. Also, they can learn something from us, we can learn something from us, but it becomes a building block when the opportunity is already there in your hands. Okay? They do not have to look at the website or internet. There are 45 people physically whom you know. It's up to them to take the advantage.